Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm your host, Veteran Mountain Man, and it's another Prepared Monday. Today, I figured I would actually discuss the difference between doomsday prepping and traditional preparedness, because the prepping community and being prepared has kind of garnered a very, very bad reputation due to a lot of the doomsday prepper type scenario individualists and some of the extreme prepping community. Now, I'm not saying that what they do is wrong. What they do is what they feel they need to do in order to feel secure, safe, and ready in the event of an emergency. Now, that being said, you don't have to be an extreme doomsday prepper to be prepared. What I normally focus on and what I normally recommend people focus on is real life, real tangible emergencies. Things such as coming down with flu, which I did this week. It can cause a loss of productivity at work. It can cause an entire week or even 2 weeks of loss of income if you're paid hourly. It can require medical expenses, doctor's visits, all sorts of nasty things that come up all out of the sudden. If you have children and a spouse living with you in a home, it could end up being a round robin of incidents where the children get sick and then your spouse gets sick and then you get sick. And it can be very taxing on your lifestyle. Then there are also things such as spouts of unemployment, natural disasters that occur, car accidents, unexpected medical bills such as a kid breaking their arm or a kid needing stitches or something of that nature. It could even be an unexplained medical expense for yourself should you come down with some sort of severe illness besides the flu that could cause a lot of problems. And so the idea of being prepared for these things is actually something that is advocated for by a lot of different communities. Even Christian and Jewish communities, if they are very solemn on the divine scripture and study the book Proverbs, will tell you that you should always be prepared for a real life emergency. One of the reasons is if you listen to somebody like, say, Dave Ramsey, they will actually quote Proverbs. There's actually a scripture in there that talks about in a wise man's house, the pantry is full of oil and food. And what that basically is talking about is having supplies on hand and having a stockpile of necessities or the financial capital to acquire those necessities in the event of an emergency. And it's one of the reasons that money budgeters like Dave Ramsey talk about having a real rainy day fund or a grandmother-style rainy day fund where you have 3 to 6 months of total expenditures saved up and ready, available, in the event that you need it. It's usually between $10,000 and $30,000. Now, many people, especially in modern America, have lost sight of doing that. And this is a type of preparedness that is very natural. It's very easy to accomplish. It just requires a little discipline. And that discipline is don't spend outside your budget. Don't overspend your budget. Keep your debts low. And keep your financial strategy sound. What does that mean? Well, that means don't spend more than you make. Try to actually spend less than you make, including your stockpiling. And then try to make sure that you keep yourself paid off on debts. Now, certain types of debts are not bad debts. Having a mortgage is not a bad debt. But if your mortgage never gets paid off, then you are literally indentured for the rest of your life. So anytime you have a debt, your plan should be to pay it down and to pay it down as effectively and quickly as possible. Now, that doesn't mean pay it all off immediately, but that does mean working towards an objectioned goal. Okay? And so you always want to make sure you start with your smallest debts first and snowball them. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but even people like Dave Ramsey will tell you it actually works better that way, starting with the smallest debt first and work your way up. Not only can you do that easier, but you'll gain some satisfaction as you pay off the smaller debts. You can turn around and take the money that you were using to pay the smaller debt into the next debt, and so on and so forth. And it actually accumulates an effective, faster debt payoff. So, this kind of preparedness is actually very, very easy to set up in your life. When it comes to the food stockpiling, stockpile what you normally eat. If there's a sale on dried pasta, you buy the dried pasta. Don't buy the pasta sauce at the same time because you'll probably be paying more. Keep an eye on your prices, shop with coupons, and just be smart about it, people. And don't necessarily run off to knee-jerk to the newest, greatest thing every time the newest, greatest thing comes out. You don't have to keep up with the neighbors. That's not as important as you think it is. Well, I want to thank you all again for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, or thumbs up and subscribe if you're on BitChute. And as always, have yourself a beautiful Monday.